Broadcasting from an undisclosed location under a farm pond somewhere in the Midwest. Your host is Jim Crowley. This is Slickfish Radio. Hey everyone, welcome to Slickfish Radio. Glad to have you tonight. And wherever you're tuning in, if you're here on Facebook or on YouTube, or if you're going to join us later on Roku, Fire TV, Amazon, iTunes, and Spotify, thank you all for joining us. We have a fun show tonight. My buddy Dan Quinn from Rapala is going to join us in just a minute, and we have another little special announcement for that as well. Already got people coming in. James Yarlam, how you doing, buddy? Glad to have you. And people chiming in. I want to thank, first and foremost, who helped bring Slickfish Radio to you. That's American Tackle Company, Explore Lacrosse, Shields in Springfield, Illinois, and Dakota Lithium. Now, 2021 was an absolutely huge year for the guys at Rapala. More new products than you can possibly think of, plus their team members had an absolutely phenomenal year. So to bring in and talk about that, let's bring the promotions manager in and my buddy Dan Quinn. Dan, welcome to the show, man. Glad we could finally get you on.
Heck yeah, happy to be here, Jim. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Yeah, I got guys commenting already. AJ, yeah, hi. I can't wait for the show. Good. Well, you tuned into the right place. That's great. James, hi. How are you? Hey, we're gonna get right. Dan and I have known each other for a long time. I've actually known his dad, Steve Quinn, who did many years at In Fisherman, and we were friends in the industry for years, still are. And Dan and I've got to fish together. We've had a great time working together. And Dan, some more people coming in. Holy cow! Hi everybody. Oh, Rhonda says hi. My wife says hi. Dan.
Oh, hi, Rhonda.
Anyway, the Rapala pros. I want to hit this first and foremost. The Rapala pros had an absolute, not incredible year, like off the chart type of year. I mean, the guys in every single direction, the guys who not only earned their stripes, the guys who've been doing it for a while, but just about everywhere you turned, these guys were making the right decisions. I've never seen a team of force in the industry came on like these guys do. And I know it had to just blow your mind, everything that was happening. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it was. It's so true. And you're a part of our pro staff too. Don't short yourself, Jim. You're equally as involved as everyone. But yeah, as far as the national bass guys, it was incredible. I mean, honestly, I got to pat myself on the back. The Bass Pro staff we have between the Bassmaster Elites and Bass Pro Tour are second to none. We have the best pro staff in bass fishing with Rapala, and that's VMC, and then some Suffix and Terminator. And it was a memorable year. Yeah, as far as Attifo coming out in the Bass Pro Tour side, winning 2 events, leading Angler of the Year right up till the very end. And not to mention, he won one of those events on the bait we made with him, the OG spin bait. Then to be nudged out by his buddy Jacob Wheeler after he won 3 of them. So 5 of the 6 events were won by Jake and Ott. I mean, they dominated like no one's ever seen before. And then on the Bassmaster side, if that wasn't enough, Seth Feider won Angler of the Year. Brandon Polinick and Patrick Walters are both in the top 5. Gerald Swindle made the classic. It was incredible. And Cody Huff won the Central Division in the Open, so now he's fishing the Elites. And oh my gosh, and Ike Anelli won the kayak tournament, which kind of completed his full house of Bassmaster victories. I mean, everywhere we turn, how many press releases can we send out about these guys? It was like Groundhog's Day. But I mean, yeah, I could only hope to have a year half as good. You know, it really was pretty memorable. And on top of it, I'm kind of getting my stride with the bass fishing and the product development side, which I really love, having a little more input and bringing all this great intel from these guys to the table at Rapala and making some really cool new baits that are tournament winning baits and new colors, new actions and baits and size extensions. And I honestly, you got to pinch me. I'm living a dream. This is as good as it gets. I truly have a dream job, and yeah, it's awesome. It's fun.
I've been watching, your input more and more after, after Mark Fisher retired, and it's who anybody who doesn't know Mark Fisher. You've seen him on TV for years, but he was one of the Hall of Fame lure designers for Rapala. And I'll never forget. I always credit him with the guy who actually retaught me how to fish a jerkbait. One day I sat in his office there and was actually going over with me what truly makes a bait work. And it was really interesting to me. It gave me a whole new line of thinking. And just so everybody watching or listening to this eventually knows, the guys at Rapala fish, and they really do take one of the reasons, in my opinion, I've been with the company almost 14 years. And one of the reasons that the guys are so successful is they do have a great group of individuals that actually do test products. I mean, when you're taking information from like Wheeler and Defoe and the list goes on and on and on like that, these are guys who are doing it almost 365 days a year. So they know what's going on. And yeah, it's a business, but the flat out bottom line is Rapala wants people to catch fish. No, there's no company out there that has more award-winning lures or world record holding lures than Rapala. And again, this year is no difference. I can't believe after all this time, you guys are still coming out with new stuff that finds a new way to catch fish. And that's got to be impressive even to you with your long history of fishing.
It's incredibly impressive. And you hit these times you're kind of like, oh, we got this done, we got that done. Like, what else could there be? But it never fails. There's endless ideas. And the more time you spend on the water as technologies advance, especially with sonar, now with forward-facing sonar, new techniques develop, new ideas, paying attention to Japan and this and that. But what's really cool is when older techniques and older things come back around, which I really appreciate. And we're seeing that as Rapala, we embrace balsa. And that's a big push for us, is really embracing this balsa. So some of our hero baits, the OG Slim, the Tiny, the new OG Tiny, a DT8, adding more balsa to our lineup is cool. And when I say some old school techniques coming back around, and I had mentioned this to you a little bit ago.
Yeah.
I got the chance to hop in the boat with Cody Huff last week and fish around on Table Rock and Bull Shoals, where he is taking everyone's money. And I think it's better for him to go on tour and get out of their hair and let them fish their own tournaments. But anyways, he's a master with live scope and the forward-facing sonar and utilizing the jigging wraps and the flat jigs, catching bass that are in 80 feet of water, completely out in the middle, and watching the bass blow holes through the threadfin shad balls, 80 feet down, and catching them with the jigging wrap. It's really it's cool to see, because I grew up, ice fishing with the bait, and then seeing it catch on in the walleye world with Al Linder and that whole phenomenon, and smallmouth and just multi-species and panfish. But now it truly is the go-to bait for catching really deep bass at the top of the tournament ranks. So,
and I want to talk a little bit about that. You and I were talking about this before, because this year I want to try to do an episode for the show on learning more about the jig and wrap, because we've done that for years on the shows that I have, and now with Wired to Fish, we're going to kind of continue. We are going to continue to do the learning phases of showing people different techniques and how to do different things. And I've never said I've been the best at anything. I learn like the rest of everybody does. And you said something yourself too. You have learned from the Linders and from other, and Cody Huff, you said too, that explain this phenomenon with the jig and wrap about color. It's colors for confidence, but in some cases with that bait, it really doesn't matter.
That is the truth. And that's one thing that stands out to me, I guess. As fishermen, we all like to have the right colors, and, half the deal is getting the fishermen to buy the lure off the peg with a color that they like, this and that. And sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. But as a fisherman overall, you kind of have your confidence colors and whatever. And a lot of times it does, right? Watercolor and clarity. And a lot of times the baits, they're getting a good look at the bait. But when it comes to a jigging wrap or a flat jig, it's a reaction bite on steroids. It's just, phew. I mean, it comes and goes. It's just they never get a really good look at it. And Al has always said, and most of the walleye guys, that color is truly secondary to the action, more so than any other fishing lure or technique. And I couldn't agree more. As I've done it over the years, I've versed in it. And I've seen it myself. It's a confidence thing, which
Sure.
is you don't want to short that either. Have a color you're confident in and comfortable with, but at the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter. If someone switched it on you, you probably catch the same fish. But what was really fascinating is Cody Huff, unprompted, told me the exact same thing. And this is a professional bass fisherman, where these guys are getting everything under the sun custom painted and this and that. I really appreciated that. It's reaction. That bait it's falling like a rock, and they either bite it or they don't. And when they bite it, they bite it.
And so what Dan and I were talking about before, as hard as these things are, if they're in stock, boys and girls, I got news for you. You better get some. I definitely am delving more into this. Dan and I have had a couple discussions on this bait, because there are times when I want to do something, especially sand or light gravel bottoms, where I do think a jig and wrap would be great. And doesn't have to be always in super deep water, but some of the deep super. We were on Mille Lacs last year with Troy Linder. We were talking about last year, and he was throwing a flat jig when we were snap jigging for walleyes. And although that day the swim bait worked really good for it, we were snapping that. Even he said, he goes, some days if it's not the swim bait, it's probably going to be this flat jig. You know, it's a multi-species lure.
Oh, if I were stranded on an island and I needed one lure to catch fish to live, no joke, it would be a jig and wrap.
Well, that's a pretty solid recommendation right there, buddy. I'll tell you. So right now, any of you who are planning on going on vacation and quite possibly could be stranded on a desert island, I would take some jig and wraps with you. That's what I would do. I want to talk about. I want to talk about a couple other baits. We're going to get into talking about baits, and if you guys got any questions, first of all, we're going to leave you with this before the break. We're going to take about a 2-minute break, but Dan had brought this up, and we're going to do this. So anybody listening tonight live, okay? The brand new DT8, which we're going to talk about after this, the brand new DT8 has a bunch of new colors for it. Dan is going to give away a Rapala gift pack just to you guys listening live tonight. Go to Rapala.com. You tell me, and put it in the comment section, you tell me how many new colors in the DT8 that Rapala has. You get the right number, I'll call you out on screen or after this is over, and we're going to send you a new gift pack of, what'd you say, Dan, OG Slims and DT8s?
Yep.
There you go. So you guys got your homework set out for you. We will be back with Dan Quinn and more great information from Rapala and fun stuff. Get going. Get to Rapala.com. I'll see you in 2 and 2.
American Tackle is home to the award-winning microwave line control system. Rod blanks to reel seats, ferrules to finish, grips to guides. They're committed to the very best in rod building components. Find out more, americantackle.us. With fishing beyond your expectations, indoor and outdoor activities, a vast variety of places to eat, drink, and stay. Discover your next adventure between the bluffs. ExploreLaCrosse.com. Located in Springfield, Illinois' largest selection of sports and sportswear, hunting, fishing, specialty shops and services, a 65-foot Ferris wheel, 16,000-gallon saltwater aquarium, and industry-leading knowledgeable employees. You don't take chances at Shields, ever. Go to Shields.com. Believing quality is measured by lifespan and harnessing their unique chemistry and engineering know-how. Dakota Lithium lasts 4 times longer, powering your passion with an 11-year warranty. Find out more, DakotaLithium.com.
Slick Fish Radio with Jim Crowley can be seen and heard on Roku, Fire TV, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iTunes.
We are back, and we didn't even make it through the break, and we have a winner. Didn't even make it through the break. So we got people coming on with Mike Paone from Florida. Mike, he said 39. That's the winner. So we got 39. You guys are quick tonight, man. I'm telling you, this is great. So you got Mike. We got 39 colors. He's right. And that's great. Everybody, thanks for and Paone's all happy now. Now he probably won't watch the rest of the show. I should have waited. That's what I should have done. And Jared Edwards just popped on. Had Jared on as a guest earlier this month. Hi, Jared, buddy. How you doing? Len KJ. Hi, Len. Good to see you, man. Good to have you here. Oh man, we got a bunch just coming on here. This is great. So I want to talk about some more stuff here, Dan. And I want to talk about some of the new baits. First of all, I'm just going to bring up a picture of one of my all-time favorite Rapala baits that there is. And that is The Brat. I absolutely love the Brat. And this year, Dan, you added, or Rapala's added a new size to that, because that lure was pretty. I call it my all-terrain crankbait. You can throw that darn thing anywhere.
It is.
And it's really been good. So you guys we added another size, a mid-size. Tell them about that a little bit.
Yeah, we just felt like we came out with the original, which was a smaller one, a 3-footer and a 6-footer, and then followed that up with a bigger one, more of a bulbousy, real like a 2.5 style square bill. And then we really needed that middle size, and so that's what that mid Brat is. It's like you say, Jim, it's a 4-wheel drive crankbait. It's the BX, so it's the Ball 6 Dream family, which is a copolymer shell, super durable, but it encapsulates a balsa core. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And then behind the scenes, from what I was told from the guys in Finland, it took about 8 or 9 years to figure out the technology to make that happen. Wow. It's a lot more than it. I mean, it looks like a fishing lure, right? You tie it on, fish, big deal. There's a lot going on there, and you get the liveliness and the action of balsa with the durability of plastic, and when you're square billing that, a lot of times you might hit rocks or dock poles or bridges or this and that. That thing can handle it.
I want you guys to take a look at something. I'm gonna pull this picture back up again. You see that V in that lip? That does a great job of deflecting. It's different than a regular square bill. In my opinion, that bill, along with the thickness to the thinness of that body, helps deflect that back hook from a lot of stuff. That color right there, I picked that color because that is my all-time favorite color. Anytime you're fishing Wisconsin, Minnesota in those clear waters, that color right there, even in Ontario, that color right there is absolute killer. That is one of my confidence crankbaits. I know when I tie that one on right there, I'm going to have a shot at catching a fish. If you ever seen northern crayfish at a certain time of the year, they do have that light green with that orange on it. And I've whacked some big smallies and even some nice largemouth on that color. We were talking about confidence. That's one of the ones for me. I'm going to show another bait here that was really popular last year. Here we go. So here's the OG Slim. Yep. Right here, just a killer for Rapala last year. Shields did a great job on these this year. They sold a ton of them. But this is the new one. This is a new kid on the block. This is OG Tiny right here. And I got another one. And Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Tiny?
Yeah, Tiny. So, yeah, this is.
There you go.
Slim.
Perfect.
And then that's Tiny. And they're quite similar. You can see Slim is quite a bit bigger and thicker, but it's still a flat side and has that tighter action. But Tiny, when we're working with Ottifo, he's out of East Tennessee, and that's where flat-sided balsa crankbaits, chip lips or the circuit board lips, that's where they were born. Guys make them in their garage and they custom paint them. That's just what they do. So it was cool to make that OG Slim first, and then followed it up with what Ott really wanted. This is one that he'd been making on his own, winning tournaments over the years. I mean, since he was a little kid. So Tiny is a real finesse, and it's a play off of Shad Rap. It's real subtle. It has a really tight action, but I can honestly attest, not that, and I probably say this about some baits, but I'm not kidding you this thing is a vacuum cleaner. I mean, I've never seen a crankbait just get bit. And I was actually filming the product video for Slim. Yeah. And I was in the back of the boat with the first one and only prototype of Tiny, and I sat there. He got so annoyed because I was just catching fish after fish after fish. It was just the time was right for that bait. And even the product video with Tiny, I'm holding this great big fish, and Ott's just like, get out of my boat.
That had to make you feel good a little bit. Just go, hey, man, I'm just sitting back here just trying to help, dude. It's all.
Right, yeah, I'm just the marketing guy. I'm back here. Don't worry about me. That is such a fun little bait. You can throw it on a light bait caster or certainly a spinning rod, but what's cool is Ott's the Shad Rap master. And this bait is definitely different. It's not a Shad Rap. It's different, but it's more in line with that. It's a cold water bait that gets bit, which it's just fun to throw.
That's cool. Hey, Jeff Simpson just chimed in here, and he said 33 colors. Jeff, you're wrong. Sorry, buddy, but just let you know. But we already had a winner. We already got a winner. The answer was But
is that Jeff from Linders?
It might be. I can't get. I think it is. So,
Okay.
and Jeff's just a great guy. We've been trying to go duck hunting for the last several years together, but I've known Jeff as long as I've known your dad. He's just a great, absolutely phenomenal guy. Just a phenomenal
Jeff's
guy.
as good as it gets. Yep.
I know. I tried to get him on the show, and he's shy. And I'm like, oh, come on, give me a break, dude. Come on.
Yeah, Jeff would be great. No, Jeff is a great fisherman.
And I want to show something else on here, and then I'll ask you a couple more questions. Guys, and we're going to have to let Dan go in a couple minutes because he's got another interview. But so we got that winner. We're also going to give away an American Tackle hat here in a little bit, and I'll have some announcements. But I want to show one more thing that I got this year, and I think it's pretty impressive. And that is the new cordless fillet knife. And I'll tell you what, every year I'm really impressed by the growth of the selection of products, especially in the knives and the Rapala line. We got kitchen knives you got the martini knives, but these new cordless ion or these chargers, and then the new stuff from, there's just too much talk about, Dan, but that new fillet knife is great too, isn't it?
It's a very good knife. Yeah, that one. And we actually just real recently introduced the R12 knife, which is almost more in line with like a Milwaukee caliber with Strike Master batteries with the augers. We've really embraced the lithium ion batteries, the real powerful ones. And
right.
They made a 12 volt that we may have some things in the works that those batteries will be used in as well, which I'm really excited for, because that's what a guy wants. You want a battery that works in your drill. You want multiple things. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, the electric fillet knives are nice. I mean, if you're filleting a bunch of fish, you can't beat it.
I'm writing all this down because when I see you Thursday, we're going to talk. I'm just putting some of this down. I'm taking notes here, buddy. So, hey, one more thing I want to bring up, because we just got done filming a great ice fishing show up in La Crosse that's actually on tonight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. tonight. A great show, Perch on Ice. And that was the first show where we featured the new Ice Force SOS ice suit and the Strike Master ice suit. And I want to say something about this. One, it is without question. When you go to the Rapala site, folks, check out Strike Master stuff and check out that new ice suit. The SOS, and the SOS stands for Stay on Surface. This is without question the warmest, the most comfortable, and worn as a set, the bibs and the pants can keep you on the surface for 2 hours, up to 2 hours. But it's got to be worn as a set. But this is one, when we go over it, and I dissect it on the show that's on 9 p.m. on 9 and 10 p.m., I think, on the East Coast tonight on Wired to Fish TV on Jim Crowley Outdoors. But check it out, because I am telling you, it was 10 below in the Cross when we filmed this show. My core was so warm, I didn't need gloves. First time ever, that cold, my core was so warm. You want a good ice suit? Check out the Strike Master SOS. That was just an impressive suit for me, Dan. I mean, we really put it through. When you're going on an airboat at 10 below zero, and the only thing's cold is your face, that's a damn impressive suit.
It is. I'll agree. I've never put on more than a light sweatshirt underneath it, and I've ice fished a lot in some really cold stuff. And especially if you're up and around, drilling a bunch of holes, hole hopping, moving around, it's definitely, you don't need anything any warmer. That is for sure. And if you do fall through, it's going to keep you up. And as you know, Matt, he tested it off his dock. He push it right off the dock, and there he floated. It works.
Anything for good TV and a good product review, man. That's the way to do it.
Right.
That is the way to do it. Well, hey, Dan, we're gonna let you go. I know you got another interview here, and I'm gonna tell everybody, for Dan, just if you want to find out more about all the Normark brands that's under our umbrella, Dan, tell them where to go.
Rapala.com is a great website we've got, where we've got all our brands. So you can learn about the products there. And then the social media, we have some great people involved with social media, and we're constantly trying to keep people entertained and informed and catch more fish through Rapala USA's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So, yeah, it's fun stuff. We're excited. 2022 is going to be another fun year.
Yes, it is. I'm so proud to have been working for this company for such a long time, and you can obviously see why I love it so much. I'm working with great guys like Dan. We have fun. And it's a company that truly develops awesome products. My friend, it was great to see you. I still had more things I want to talk about, but I know you got to go. And hey, I will contact you. I'll see you Thursday. God bless you and your family, and I'll see you soon.
Sounds good, Jim. I look forward to Thursday. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. All right. That was great. I'll tell you, it's so much stuff to talk about. I didn't even get through all the good stuff I wanted to, but I hope you guys had a great time hearing about all the new stuff from Rapala. And we're going to give away, I've got more people chiming in here tonight. Mike Palin, thanks. Everybody chiming in. We got people chiming in from all over the place here. If I don't get to you, please, I apologize for that. We do have one more thing to give away tonight, though, the American Tackle hat. So I want to show you guys something here. Let's go to this. If you go to American Tackle anglerproducts.com, okay, there's that code right there. Anything, rods, reels, anything on the American Tackle webpage. Right there, American Tackle, you get 20% off using that code. Okay, so if you go to American Tackle anglerproducts.com, and just so you know, the new spinning reels, the ones that I've been using for years, I actually have 8 of them. I love them. The new spinning reels are back in stock. They're a great price right now, but you can really get a great price on them by putting in that code JC20 at American Tackle anglerproducts.com. And so do me a favor, just comment something about that you enjoyed the show tonight, or again, we said that new show Jim Crowley Outdoors on Wired to Fish is going to be on the East Coast tonight at 10 o'clock. I think it's going to be 9 o'clock some other areas, and we will have a new time for the Midwest coming up here soon, so stay tuned for the Facebook page and the Instagram page, and we will let you know. Hey, Jason, you just said you love seeing the new lures. I think Jason is the first one to comment since I said the hat. Jason wins the AT hat, and I'm putting that down right there. Jason, there you go. You win the AT hat. You guys are great. I'll tell you what, let's throw up a couple other discount codes for everybody here. So you know that we do a lot of stuff with Lure Parts Online. There's a code for them. We got a lot of new cool stuff coming out from Lure Parts too. So when you go to Lure Parts Online, go to the code, use the code JC Outdoors 10, and you will get a discount there. And our friends at Autism Angler. So if you want to support a great cause like we do here on Slick Fish Radio, as well as on Jim Crowley Outdoors, please do so and use the code JC10, and that will get you that. Thrilled tonight again on the East Coast. You can see the new show, Perch on Ice, which is going to be a great look into the lacrosse area. We got so many buttons on this thing. I'm telling you what. Here we go. Okay, so let's put this up. Oh, you know what I wanted to show, and I forgot to show? My favorite fishing picture of last year, and I apologize for Dan not showing it. This is Dan's son, Mac. Forgot to throw that up there, but this is Dan with the buffalo. Takes after his father and his grandfather. This kid absolutely just loves to fish. How cool of a smile is that? You know you're having a good time when you're hugging big fish like that. I absolutely love that. That was my favorite fishing picture of last year. So a big shout out to Mac Quinn. Sorry, Mac, we didn't get you on when we could, but a big shout out to him. So again, tonight on the West Coast, make sure you turn into Wired to Fish TV at 9 or 10 o'clock. It's one of those times. And you can see a great episode, which is Perch on Ice, and coming soon, we will have new times in the Midwest. They're working on that now. So hopefully you guys in the Midwest can see us now. You can set your DVR for 12 midnight on in the Midwest here, but we are getting a new time slot then, and you can see some of our new episodes with more new ones to come. Hey, we'll be back in a couple weeks with a brand new episode of Slick Fish Radio. We have guests booked all the way into April, I think, already. Thanks to all of you for growing this show. I've got more of you commenting. Thank you for coming in and joining us. Man, so many states tonight joined in. You guys are just absolutely awesome. I appreciate all of you and all of you joining us in from time to time, all the time. If you have any more comments on Facebook, you got any more questions about Rapala products, please feel free, because if I can answer the question for you, I honestly will. I thank all of you so much for watching the show. This was another great one, and we have more great ones to come. Truly thankful for all of you, whether you hear us wherever. We're thankful for American Tackle, Explorer Lacrosse, Shields in Springfield, and Dakota Lithium. And like I said, most of all, we are thankful for all of you for watching us all the time. God bless you. I'm Jim Crowley. Watch for us on a new show exclusively on Wired to Fish, which is Jim Crowley Outdoors. We'll be back soon with another episode here on Slick Fish Radio.